the depths of hell could have forged a diamond this special?
Alright, so Freedom Convoy, for those of you who don't know about it, it's a convoy in Canada that went from one side of the country to Ottawa to protest against their COVID-19 vaccine mandates for border crossings. Oh, right here. Here we go. Protesting the end of the temporary November 19th, 2021 vaccine requirement exemption for cross-border truckers and the implementation on January 15th, and proof of vaccinations. So this is like this. There, it goes on and on, but let's go to the goal. And I think I read this article from the Guardian. And it says that the stated goals of the convoy quickly spiraled from frustrations over vaccine mandates into calls for the repeal of all public health measures and even the overthrow of the federal government. Well, you know what? It's here. I'll show you. So I just sent this picture to Chris. I'll show you guys. Do 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 do.
But that's again, that's what the media is reporting.
Yeah.
There's nobody out there trying to overthrow the government.
Oh, dude, this freaking stream fucking. I'm so fed up with it, dude. I'm so fed up with it. I'm so fed up with this fucking shit. Yeah. Whatever. That's alright. Me and you, we could finish. Fuck it. Hold on. Oh, I'm still recording, but you know I could just go back and edit later. All right, let's see. So let me see if you guys can see that. So basically, the picture is showing Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, and basically trying to say us truckers don't have a choice and don't have a voice. So basically, what it's really gonna boil down to is like, how long, how long do we need to keep this up in order for the government in Canada to change their mind before the United States is next to see that we're not playing around either. So, you want to chime in, Chris?
I mean, I'm all for it.
Same.
Yeah, I'm 100% for it, and it's not when I say, when I say this, and this seems to get twisted with a lot of people, especially a lot of famous people. It's not that I'm anti-vax. Your choice is your choice. You talk about it with your doctors. You do what you think is best for you. But you can't. I'm anti-mandate. You can't force that upon everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, it's. I think if you don't realize that, one by one, everything is being taken away. By the time your grandkids are our age, they're gonna have nothing to fight for because it's gonna be complete control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if we now to stop complete government control from happening. You know, it's going to be a sad state of affairs. It's our responsibility for the future.
Yep.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Or it's you know, we have to stand up now, because if we let it continue, they're going to keep taking and taking and taking, and you know, next thing you know, we will be, you know, like Venezuela, like Cuba.
What do you think about BBC News?
I've never really watched it.
Well, I'm already, yeah, I'm already, like, I'm reading what they're talking about, and I can already tell it goes against what we know to be true. So, and even if parts of it is true, it's not for the vast majority of the people there trying to spread, you know, the message of knock off the mandates. So basically, reading here, Freedom Convoy. This is from BBC News, World, U.S., Canada. Freedom Convoy. It says truckers cause chaos in Ottawa after second day of protest. This was posted 3 days ago. Protesters against a vaccine mandate for truckers crossing the U.S.-Canada border have brought Canada's capital city to a standstill for a second day. Thousands of demonstrators joined the so-called Freedom Convoy in Ottawa. Police have started investigations after several incidents, including the appearance of the swastika flags and footage of a woman dancing on the tomb of the unknown soldier. So you got a couple of like freaking, you know, extremists out there. Cool. Like, that's everywhere. You know, you always got, you know, you could show up to a triathlon where it's running, swimming, and bicycle riding, and then there's someone in the crowd standing there with a kick scooter or a motor scooter there just to be there. Like, okay, so be it.
From what I understand, that whoever showed up with that swastika flag, that did happen, but before the authorities could handle that, the truckers handled it. Said, you're not one of us.
Yep. You're not here for the main cause.
You need to go. It's not, you know, it's not our deal.
Yep. This isn't that kind of party. So, Ottawa police said in a Twitter post that several investigations were now underway into the desecration of a number of monuments in the capital city, as well as threatening, illegal, intimidating behavior to police, city workers, and other individuals, and damage to a city vehicle. All right. So I want to unwrap this real quick. So what do they think fighting the government is? What is it? Just writing them a letter and then hoping that they would put their guns down and put their arms down and not just go with what we're saying? No, it's like, if we're there for a reason, you know, one thing could lead to another, and you know, things could get out of hand very quickly in the wrong hands of a short-tempered person. So of course, if like a cop is like, hey, you need to move your truck, but it's like he's only talking to one driver out of the thousands that are sitting there, and he keeps pestering the one truck driver, that cop is probably gonna get an earful. Let's see. Elsewhere across the city, truckers blocked the streets around Canada's Parliament building in Ottawa. Mayor Jim Watson said some protesters had harassed staff at a soup kitchen, demanding free meals after they were turned away by restaurants for their refusal to comply with indoor mask mandates. I don't know, you know. That's crazy. Around 90% of Canada's 120,000 cross-border truckers are now vaccinated, in line with the country's adult population. The demonstration has grown beyond a call to end the cross-border mandate to push an end to all vaccine mandates nationwide, which I agree with. And some demonstrators have pledged to continue their protests until they are removed. Mr. Trudeau calls the protesters a small fringe minority during a press conference earlier this week. Conservative leader Aaron O'Toole has met some of the protesters and has spoken in favor of the right to peaceful demonstration, but criticized individuals desecrating memorials in Ottawa. Mr. Trudeau's Liberal government brought in the vaccine mandate on the 15th of January that would require unvaccinated Canadian truckers crossing the two nations' borders to quarantine once they return home. The U.S. has also recently said that foreign truck drivers must show proof of vaccination to enter the country. That's crazy. This is going downhill quickly, man.
Well, I think it's looking up. 'Cause, they're gonna see. They're gonna see what
Oh, did you
power.
did you hear about the tow trucks? So tow trucks were called in to start hauling away,
Yep.
and I think,
Said no.
yep, they said no.
Yep.
Canadian officials are denouncing an unlawful blockade of U.S.-Canada border crossing and reports of violence as self-described Freedom Convoy of truckers and supporters opposed to vaccine mandates and other pandemic public health measures continued demonstrations for a fifth day. Vehicles have been used to block access to the Coutts border crossing in southern Alberta since Saturday, creating traffic jams and disrupting the flow of goods and services. Oh, they think that's disrupting the flow of goods and services. They don't they don't know where their goods and services actually come from. Let's see. Over the weekend, to protest a federal coronavirus vaccine requirement for the cross-border truckers, other public health measures, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, what may have begun as a peaceful assembly quickly turned into an unlawful blockade. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police in Alberta said in a statement. It said that the RCMP would take action to declare the blockade under local laws that prevent interference with critical infrastructure after attempts to negotiate with the protesters broke down. There have been told people aligned with the protesters assaulting RCMP officers and trying to ram members, later leading to a collision with a civilian vehicle. Local outlets reported that the blockade is aligned with the Freedom Convoy. Several criminal investigations threatening illegal behavior. See, they don't understand. It's like they're trying to take the peaceful approach to this because they don't want to leave the country without goods entirely. And I think that's what's going to happen. Because if we don't get what we want, I think that, they're just going to start shutting stuff down. And then I read something yesterday. It was like the Canadian Trucking Alliance or something like that has said like that they are not a part of it and they want the truckers to step down or whatever. Like, get out of here. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that Canadian Trucking Alliance, from what I understand, is not really. It's not really for
the well-being
small
of the people.
owner-op. Yeah, I mean, unless you're a big union, they could care less.
Yep, and that's until that all these big fleet drivers start showing up for a change, to change.
Yeah.
That's what it would really take. all these big fleet guys, all these big fleet drivers just go off the rail and just show up. That's it.
Or even, I mean, even if
They shut
they were
down.
able, even if they were able to just take their 34, they were all able to take their 34 at the same time.
Yep.
That would do enough damage, along with all the smaller companies, all the owner ops, shutting it down.
Yep.
And it's going to have to be the same way as Canada. It's going to have to go in waves because, of course, everybody can't afford to just shut down for weeks.
Mm-hmm. But what would make this move a lot quicker is if everybody shut down and took a knee for,
Yep.
like you said, at least 2 days.
Yeah.
At least 2 days. If they want to see things change a lot quicker, let's see how tough the cops and the militaries are without the truckers to provide the goods for them. If you believe that you have the right to do what you want with your body, then this is something that you should be fighting for.
And again, though, I don't even know how much that I believe. It's what the media is telling you about the mounted police and this, that, and the other. That's what they're telling you. That's, how much that is true. Probably very, very close to none.
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw a video this morning or yesterday. A Canadian police officer. I forget where she was from, but she made a little video in full support of the convoy. So, because they're being forced too. And even here in the United States, there's a ton of healthcare workers, ready to jump in because they're under a mandate regardless, and they're ready to, can we take our personal vehicles, hop on in?
Yep. So on the 31st of January, Justin Trudeau posted a Twitter comment or Twitter post that says that there's no place in Canada for this behavior. So to those responsible, it needs to stop, and those who join the convoy but are uncomfortable with the symbols of hatred and division on display, be courageous and speak out. Do not stand for or with or intolerance and hate. So they're talking about. I'm assuming he's talking about the swastika and stuff, and I just feel like, it's.
Well, no, because he said that before that whole flag incident even happened. So, and that's the thing. There's no hateful rhetoric. There's nobody trying to be divided and this, that, and the other thing. Like none of what he said is true. None of it. So it's just like I said to you earlier. If I call you up and I say, Mike, 2 + 2 is 5, even though you know damn well it's 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, well, you're spreading misinformation for saying it's 4.
Yep. And then they're like, cancel Chris, cancel Mike.
Yeah. Cancel Mike for telling the truth.
Yep. So he also said, I know this pandemic is frustrating. It's frustrating that after 2 years, we're not done fighting COVID-19, but over the past few days, Canadians have been shocked and frankly disgusted by the behavior displayed by some people protesting in our nation's capital. He also said that, I want to be very clear, we are not intimidated by those who hurl abuse at small business workers and steal food from the homeless.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on. All right, so They're stealing food from the homeless. Okay. Freedom Convoy funds raise.
Yeah, they had so much food dropped off to them.
All right, let's see.
They decided to walk around and give food to the homeless.
So Freedom Convoy raises nearly $10 million. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's see. Fox News says GoFundMe for Canadian truckers approached 10 million, more than the country's political parties raised last quarter. Wow, look at that. Yo, $10.1 million has been raised.
That's a hell of a fringe minority.
Yeah. Yep. They raised $905,199 from 9,890 donations. So that's what? Yeah, that's yep. That's a lot, dude. Oh, so there's two people on the fundraising team, and they just started this fundraiser back on January 14th. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, some minority. Yep. All right, so it says as of this article that I'm reading, it says it had raised nearly 8 million as of Wednesday morning, which is today. But they might be talking about dollars though, not Canadian money. The page said it seeks funds for food, fuel, and lodging, and argues that the vaccine mandates are destroying the foundation of our businesses, industries, and livelihoods. GoFundMe released $1 million to organizers after it said that they provided a plan for the distribution of fuel. The convoy has also attracted support beyond Canada's borders as many countries debate whether it's time to scrap public health restrictions and live with the coronavirus. In the United States, Donald Trump Jr., the former president's eldest son, and Tesla founder Elon Musk, an opponent of vaccine mandates, have spoken in support of the truckers. Yep. Canada and the United States announced last year that they would require truck drivers. We already know that. But yeah, dude, it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy, dude. I don't know, but you guys let us know what you think down in the comments section. Are you for the Freedom Convoy? You against it? Either way, we appreciate all the feedback. We appreciate all the support. Just remember, if you don't like trucks, stop buying stuff. If that's part of the reason that I got into trucking, because it doesn't matter whether it's raw material or finished product. One way, shape, or form, it was moved by a tractor trailer. So whether it be the hat on my head, to the shoes on my feet, to the TV screen or the monitor or the phone that you guys are watching this broadcast through, to the light in this room, to the laptop that I edit on, one way, shape, or form, it was moved by a tractor trailer. So just think long and hard before you try to go against what us truckers are saying. And, and before you make your decision about who you're really with, just remember it's the governments that lied to you. We are 2 years into 2 weeks of slowing the spread. And they make you wear a mask inside, but it's okay when you're sitting down to eat as if it's not airborne. Okay, that's enough of that. But do your research, y'all. You let us know down in the comment section whether you're in support, whether you're against.
Look, I think that everyone is going to have to take a hard look at where they want to be at this moment in history as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights. Go ahead.
And scaremongering, it's all falling apart fast. Now, first on the vaccine mandates. It's now a proven fact that being vaccinated and boosted neither protects you from contracting the virus nor spreading it. And more shocking is the new data that the vaccinated are more likely to contract Omicron than the unvaccinated. Now, a fantastic piece today in the Wall Street Journal correctly notes one preprint study found that after 30 days, the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines no longer had any statistically significant positive effect against Omicron infection. And after 90 days, their effect went negative, i.e. vaccinated people were more susceptible to Omicron infection. So, this makes comments from teachers' unions, reps, attempting to justify the ongoing school closures all the more infuriating. So it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve. It was 100 days of masking. It was back to normal by 4th of July. It was, if you're vaccinated, you won't get COVID, and you'll get your life back. It'll all be normal again. All lies. But as with lies, they're eventually overtaken by truth and experience. And the double-barreled impact of both are now hitting the COVID control squads who've exploited a tragedy for their own political and economic gain.
A little less happy about it because our wages down here already suck and the economy is already in the tank. So for us to miss work to fight the powers that be and to get healthcare reform and to fight this vaccine mandate, it's gonna aggravate a lot of truckers. A lot. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears peeled, and we will see you guys on the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. I just spit. Sorry about that. That was gross. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.